Michigan, Georgia, instant reaction. What a bummer of a night, folks. We're going to talk about it, give you just some takeaways. I think we all watched the game, so you saw the same stuff I did, but I'll give you my thoughts. Before we jump into it, though, I'll ask you. It's the offseason now. I'm very proud of the audience and the growth we've had over the last 4 months during this Michigan football season. If you want to ride with us in the offseason, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. But every person usually says that the best recommendations come from friends. So if you have a friend who's a Michigan football fan, send them the link, youtube.com/Michigan TV. I'll do my best to recap this game right up now. Go Blue. Well, Michigan pretty much was out of this game from the first possession, folks. I think once Georgia had the ball in their hands and they scored early and then they got up 14-0, I mean, I don't think that I was confident at all. I just kind of was like, now I know how some other teams feel. Now I know how Ohio State's felt a few times in the college football playoff. Now I know how a lot of teams, Michigan State a few years back, 5-6 years ago, how they felt in the college football playoff. But here's my instant reaction. Michigan loses 34-11 to the Georgia Bulldogs. Cade McNamara was completely overmatched in this game. Hassan Haskins, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards really weren't much of a factor. Michigan's wide receivers were completely not a factor at all. And I think there's a lot of questions going into this offseason about what the future looks like for this offense under Josh Gaddis, whether it's J.J. McCarthy's team, whether Cade McNamara will get another chance to run it back. I'm proud of what this team did. I'm happy for this season. But they did lose 34-11 to Georgia. So I want your, folks, give me your one-word reaction to this loss against Georgia. I can't be too mad, right? I'm extremely happy with what happened this season. I think Michigan was overmatched, frankly, in talent, but they were overmatched in the coaching staff as well. The approach from this, I'm going to throw a few overreactions from friends of mine who have texted me. One friend said Michigan can go be me. Not a good friend there. A family member said, one reaction, embarrassing or pathetic. And then another friend said, Michigan sucks, F you, Yoder. Not my best friends, but some people who did text me. I like the one that said embarrassing or pathetic. But no, I'm not embarrassed of the players. I'm not embarrassed of the season. I don't think it was a pathetic game or season by any ways. Georgia's just a much better team. And that is what it is. But let me know. Get off in the comment section. Let me know what you're feeling about this team and this program. Well, Happy New Year's. I mean, we're filming this right now. It is 11:22 p.m. on the East Coast, 10:22 p.m. in Dallas. I went to the Alabama-Cincinnati game earlier with Mrs. Yoder. Had some nice plush seats in the one of the sponsor boxes where she works. And we left fourth quarter when Alabama scored that touchdown to go up by 3 scores. Got home 30 minutes prior to the game. Watched first half home. Came down to the studio. Second half, I got Vegas Jeremy with me on the production studio. He's been rolling me the last 3 or 4 weeks. Our magic, the mustache, it's getting shaved off as soon as I get home because it just wasn't the right combination to get past Georgia in this one. So Michigan loses to 34-11. Our year ends poorly as a Michigan football fan base, but you know what? I think all in, it was the best year this fan base has had in 2 decades, and so I'm actually all in. I got a lot of texts from people that also said like, "Hey, great season, hold your head up." Those things, I think all that should go to you guys as well. Let's see a few takeaways. All right, few takeaways from this game. Not a ton to say, but Cade McNamara, he really struggled tonight under pressure, and the Michigan offensive line didn't show up. The Joe Moore Award-winning best offensive line in college football, they were completely dominated by the defensive front seven of Georgia. Cade got off to a really poor start in the first half. I mean, almost did nothing. Surprising he even had 8 completions because I don't necessarily remember many of them. 72 yards, no touchdowns. He threw a pick in the first half. Second half, or just the whole game in general, only threw 7 passes in the second half. It was 3 of 7, 30 yards, something like that. Had an interception. Fumbled once as well, but also recovered that. So it wasn't as crazy of a terrible second half for Cade McNamara in this one. 11-19, 106, and 2 interceptions was his takeaways for this game. But I don't know if Cade McNamara, J.J. McCarthy, I'm not sure if there's any quarterback that Michigan had on their roster now or at any point in recent memory that would have done any better against Georgia. Their defense came to play. They knew what to do. They out-schemed Michigan. And you know what the thing that hurt a lot in a lot of ways? It's not necessarily on Cade McNamara, but for that, it was the second touchdown, they threw the halfback pass. That was like the Michigan fans were so excited when Donovan Edwards did that this year, and Georgia just kind of like put a little salt in the wound that, hey, we can do a little better than you guys. But back to Cade McNamara. Let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and grade his performance tonight, A, B, C, D, or F for Michigan's starting Big Ten championship quarterback, Cade McNamara. I'm going to give him a D. It's like, I think he's a great program guy. I think he'll probably have a really good chance of being the starter next year. But this was just a bad performance, and Cade McNamara was not the answer tonight versus Georgia. Josh Gaddis, Mike McDonald, the offense nor the defense, neither one of them showed up at all tonight. There was no game plan that they had, nothing that they were doing that could compete with Georgia on any level on offense or defense. And for that, I think Michigan, I hope these coaches, these players, they go back to the drawing board. They look at these stats here, and they said, we are a top 5 program this season, right? We are a team that beat Ohio State, won a Big Ten championship. But the stats here in the first half, it's really the story of the game. 330 yards for Georgia in the first half to 101 for Michigan. 29 yards rushing, and Michigan had to completely go away from what got them here in this game. And it really didn't get any better in the second half. I think Michigan clearly, stuck with Georgia in the second half here. 325 for Michigan, 515 yards total for Georgia. But Michigan had nothing going on in the running game all day, and frankly, it just felt like Michigan was never on offense for a lot of the game. It felt like Georgia was always on offense. I feel like it was over after the first drive of the game because Michigan had a chance to come back and score, make it feel like it was the Ohio State game where you're going to go blow to blow with this team and then stick it to them in the second half. But then they didn't, and then Georgia scored again, and then I never felt like at that point for me, the game was over. I don't know what you guys feel. If you feel different than me, you thought Michigan had a chance. Maybe you do. The second half, beginning the second half, Michigan had a chance, had a turnover, Cade McNamara in the end zone, but that could have cut it to like 3 scores or 2.5 scores, whatever it was. But it wasn't meant to be. So all together now, folks, right? Big season. 2 wins to 12 wins, 12-2 season. I think it was second 12-win season or third 12-win season in Michigan football history. Just type Go Blue because I know that the Georgia fans are just going to rub a little more salt in the wound. I already tell Ohio State fans are going to be in the comments. So let's not let them ruin this for you, for this whole Michigan football season. Type Go Blue. A lot of excitement towards the future, and I'm excited to see what this offseason brings and see what the Michigan football team puts together in 2022. How about Stetson Bennett, right? I made fun of Coldridge Stroud, a.k.a. C.J. Stroud, Ohio State's quarterback for 4 or 5 months going into the game. I was right about that. I was wrong about him. The 5'10" former walk-on quarterback, former lower-tier scout team quarterback. He looked like Drew Brees, a little short quarterback who could scamper around, move around the pocket, and throw it out there. In the first half, he did all of his damage, 16 of 22 for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he could have never played a snap in the second half, yet he did. And he would have been the MVP of this game for me at least. Ended up 21 of 31 for 307 and three touchdowns for the Georgia former walk-on quarterback in this game. Also had 32 rushing yards. Is that right there too? That's what I'm seeing as well. But, he played a great game, and I did not think that he had it in him. I didn't think that he would be a reason that Georgia would win this game. I thought, if anything, he'd be a reason they didn't lose it, but not one of the main reasons that they won it. But think about Jim Harbaugh, all right? And I know I asked you to grade Cade McNamara here just a second ago, and A, B, C, D, or F. So if you want to grade Harbaugh too, go down and just say Harbaugh A, Harbaugh B, Cade B. I'm not going to – there's not much to say. I don't know what Harbaugh could have done. The offensive game plan wasn't great. The defensive game plan wasn't great. Michigan wasn't unable to play their game, and once that was happening where they were down 14-0 and it's not the game they play, I think Harbaugh was just grasping for straws, trying anything to figure out what happened. So I don't know. D, C, it doesn't really matter for me at this point, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Number 4 here tonight on New Year's Eve, folks, is this offseason. I bet I got $10,000. Now, luckily for me, he never manned up and sent me his information to make the bet official. We bet a $10,000 bet, J.J. McCarthy versus Cade McNamara this offseason. I said Cade's going to be the starter first game no matter what. But I don't know now, right? I mean, Cade McNamara looked pretty rough tonight in a lot of ways. And, J.J. McCarthy, he brings more talent. He looks the part a little bit better. He makes mistakes, and he probably not tries harder in a way that he tries harder to play better, but like he will make the throw that you shouldn't make, where Cade McNamara is at least more seasoned and he won't make that throw and potentially the turnover that comes along with it. But sometimes from those throws comes miraculous plays or NFL level plays. So JJ went 7 of 17, got Michigan's only touchdown on the night, and then the following 2-point conversion, he ended up with 131 yards passing, 4 carries for 24 yards as well. We'll look back at Cade's stats here, compare him to JJ's there, 11 of 19 for 106. The turnovers hurt, right? Because Michigan was getting pressured. The offensive line was not the best in the country as far as I'm concerned tonight. And Michigan was taking hits on the quarterback, which hasn't really happened all this year. And then they just didn't turn the ball over a lot this year, and they did tonight with, 3 turnovers, 2 turnovers. It was a tough one to watch. I'm excited about next year. I'm excited to see where this program can go. Can they take this motivation from 2020's 2-win season, turn it into a championship, Big Ten championship team, 12 wins this year? Can they use this motivation, losing to Georgia, as fuel for the future? I want to ask you guys this question as we kind of get towards wrapping up the show. Who is your starting quarterback game 1 next season to start the year? Type CM if it's Cade McNamara, type JM if it is J.J. McCarthy. I'm really interested to see what you guys think, because I think it's a question, because 4 hours ago, I thought there was no question. It would be Cade McNamara at least to start the season. Now, I think the door is open for J.J. McCarthy to have a great offseason and steal that job for Cade into spring and then into fall camp, which is only 8 months away, folks. So we'll see how, I guess, it's only 7 months away, right? It starts beginning of August, so it's 7 full months and then beginning of August. CM or JM. And before we wrap it up, we're trying to be your offseason headquarters. We're going to have more content for you tonight. We're going to film an overreaction Saturday. I'm going to film it after midnight, so it's technically Saturday. We're going to put it out tomorrow, and we'll see what you guys think about this season. But make sure you subscribe, send to a friend. We'll be trying to put out 3, 4, 5 videos per week, no matter what, the entire offseason. More videos, more audience, and more subscribers than any Michigan football YouTube channel. Appreciate everyone who's rolled around this for this entire season. It's been a great last 4 months, and I appreciate every one of you who have watched all of our episodes, stuck through us to the end. Have yourself a cocktail tonight. Cheers your loved ones, and just enjoy this Michigan football season, because there's one for the ages.